Good morning, everybody. As always, I'm Demetrius.
And as always, I'm the Stone. Thank you for tuning into this special episode of the Zen XC Weekly News every week.
In today's coverage, we're going to break it up into two parts.
Part 1 will be information about each of the candidates running for office.
And part 2 will be our professional analytics, or Zenalytics, about which states we believe each candidate will win.
And with special guest maps from some of our viewers. Without further ado, let's get right into the Zen XC election coverage.
How we are going to break this up is by identifying who the candidates are, what their policies are, and what the common opinion is about why you should vote for them.
And to begin, we'll start with the Republican nominee, Donald Trump.
Donald Trump is an American politician, businessman, and media personality. He served as the 45th President of the United States from 2017 to 2021. Trump's presidency was marked by significant and often controversial policies, including a travel ban on citizens from several Muslim-majority countries, the construction of a border wall with Mexico, and significant tax cuts. After losing the 2020 election to Joe Biden, Trump continued to be a prominent figure in American politics and is the Republican nominee for the 2024 presidential election.
Donald Trump's policies cover a wide range of areas. On immigration, he wants to continue the building of a border wall along the U.S.-Mexico border. He would like to deport millions of legal Americans who just want to live here and just help us and stuff. He wants to end birthright citizenship. He wants to attempt to end the automatic granting of citizenship to those born in the U.S. regardless of their parents' immigration status, against the law. On the economy, he wants to impose tariffs on all non-domestic goods, specifically against China. He wants to impose tax cuts to the wealthy. He wants to manufacture stuff in the U.S. On the energy front, he wants to make the U.S. the dominant energy producer globally. Social policies. He wants to cut federal funding for schools that promote critical race theory or critical racial gender ideology. Transgender rights. And women's sports. National security. He would like to strengthen and modernize the U.S. military. On the foreign policy front, he would like to prevent World War III, big surprise, and restore peace in Europe and the Middle East. Government and law. He would like election security. He would like to implement measures like same-day voting, voter ID, and paper ballots to secure elections. Finally, government accountability. He would like to end the weaponization of government against American citizens. Thank you. Donald Trump supporters generally want to deport people like Austin Warner and ban Quinn Rail from marrying.
And people that are against Trump typically just want their own bodily autonomy, something that Jacob Nodal doesn't have. Next, we'll move on to our Democratic nominee, Black Queen Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris is the 49th and current Vice President of the United States, serving since January 20th, 2021, under President Joe Biden. She is the first woman, the first Black American, and the first Asian American to hold the office. I didn't. That's what it said. That's what it told me. That's what it told me. Okay. She was born in Oakland, California, and she graduated from Howard University and the University of California Hastings College of Law. Some of her career highlights include District Attorney of San Francisco. Elected in 2003, she was the first woman and first person of color to hold the position. Attorney General of California, served from 2011 to 2017, again as the first woman and person of color in this role. And U.S. Senator from California. Elected in 2016, she served until 2021. As Vice President, Harris has played a crucial role in the Biden administration, including casting tie-breaking votes in the Senate. She is also the Democratic Party's nominee for the 2024 presidential election.
There's one fucking sentence about what she's... Kamala Harris has outlined a comprehensive policy platform for our 2024 presidential campaign. Here are some key areas. On the economy, she proposes tax cuts for over 100 million working and middle-class Americans by restoring the expanded child tax credit and earned income tax credit. She has plans to support small businesses with a $50,000 tax deduction for startups and increase access to capital. On healthcare, she plans to increase access to affordable care and prescription drugs. On the housing front, she proposes building 3 million more affordable homes and rental units, because that's how that works. Home ownership, she offers up to $25,000 for first-time home buyers to help with down payments, because that's, again, how that works. On social policies, education, she supports increasing funding for public schools and making community college tuition-free. Great policy. LGBTQ plus AI rights. She plans to pass the Equality Act to protect LGBTQAI plus rights and individuals from discrimination. Not from me. On immigration, she proposes comprehensive reform, a bipartisan border security bill, and a pathway to citizenship for undocumented immigrants. On climate and energy, clean energy, she aims to invest in renewable energy and reduce carbon emissions. She talked to Tyson. On the voting rights front, she plans to protect democracy. She's going to pass the John Lewis Voting Rights Act and the Freedom to Vote Act, all of those had capital letters at the beginning of each word, to ensure fair and accessible elections. Now, Kamala Harris supporters would generally rather kill their baby than avoid getting ran through by 8 guys one night.
And people that are against Kamala understand that a woman shouldn't be president. Now, projected on the screen here is the 2024 census, which shows the allocation of electoral votes. Obviously, Election Day hasn't happened yet, but here's what is projected so far.
Now, for comparison, here's the 2020 election and how it turned out. Obviously, Joe Biden did win this election because he won 6 of the 7 swing states. Now, in this election, it is going to come down to the same 7 swing states that it usually does. Those are Nevada, Arizona, Georgia, North Carolina, Pennsylvania, Michigan, and Wisconsin. Okay? Now, Michigan, Wisconsin, and Pennsylvania have been called the blue wall in recent elections because generally the Democrat will win this and then they will win the election. Now, that didn't happen in 2016. So these states are going to be super important again for either candidate to have a chance at winning this election. In early polling, it does appear that Trump has a slight lead in all 3 states. Now, looking back since 2000, the only times Michigan and Wisconsin were red states was in 2016 when a woman was running. They've otherwise been blue. Now, very often, North Carolina does go red. It's only been blue 1 time. And Nevada, Arizona, and Georgia do seem to be true toss-ups. Georgia is more likely to be red.
So actually, fun fact, we have a guest map submitted by Jake Garrison. Jake Garrison, please feel free to step into the frame. Now, Jake Garrison, I'm going to pull up the map that you submitted that predicts what you think how the election is going to go. All right, let's see. Here you go. This was your submitted map. Can you explain what you're thinking here and what the thought process was?
So as you can see, this is what would happen if, for example, a woman ran for president.
And here we have a fan-submitted map by Grace Link.
You're doing good.
As she said, this is her ideal America. Now, we're going to start giving out these swing states, how we believe that they are going to fall out. Now, the big thing we're going to look at, UNC. Who's from UNC? Michael Jordan. What color was the team Michael Jordan was on? That's right, blue at UNC, not red like the Chicago Bulls. We're giving that to Kamala.
Vote blue no matter who. Now, Michigan, big, huge, important swing state. We have a few reasons to think that Michigan is going to support Donald Trump, the January 6th insider. Bam, 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 turn it red.
And now, I, as a native of Wisconsin, understand how it works out there. I understand how the people are. If you try and go through Milwaukee, you got to check in with me first. We are giving Milwaukee to the Kamala.
Now, in a massive surprise in 2020, Georgia went blue. We think this year they turn around and they go for Donald Trump. Insight January 6th.
And now, like 2 peas in a pod, like a Logan and an AC, look at Nevada and Arizona. They're both going blue this year. Bam! Give them to her. Double bam. Give them to her like Kamala.
Now, Pennsylvania, the biggest of the swing states. They have Pittsburgh. They have Philadelphia. 2 liberal strongholds. But a lot of rural Pennsylvanians who are drilling oil are tired of the Biden administration and don't want to see another 4 years of Kamala Harris. They're going to Trump.
And now, in a wild case of how this turns out, we have the Republicans at 269 electoral votes and the Democrats at 269 votes. Now, what this means is that this would assume that there is a tie in the presidential election race.
Now, what happens in a tie? In the case of a tie, we go to the House of Representatives to vote one from the top row.
Oh shit!
Evan Leawer! From Omaha, Nebraska, comes in
shit!
and votes Donald Trump.
Oh shit!
And beats him.
The Republicans win with 270 to win. Donald Trump, we predict, will be your 2024 presidential nominee.
Evan Leawer supports January 6th and discriminating against blacks.
Evan Leaver hates transgender rights.
Evan Leawer hates gay rights.
Evan Leaver wants to deport UND's cross-country team.
Evan Leawer hates women, including his girlfriend.
Evan Leaver is sick of getting pegged.
Evan Lewer loves dead kids in school from school shootings.
Evan Lever wants to see Austin Water gone from here.
You want to control your own body? No, Evan Lewer will.
Evan Lever hates the new Minnesota state flag and Somalians.
Evan Lewer is tired of the way that Austin Warner and his people smell.
Evan Lever does not believe in the ozone layer, and he thinks Tyson is a little bitch.
Thank you all for tuning in to this very special edition of the ZinXC Weekly News. As we know, we made a lot of jokes about this, but it is very serious to be able to cast your vote.
Yes, please vote, and remember, if you can't handle this humor, you're probably a woman.
Remember, use the information that we have given you today to make your decision about who you want to vote for and get out to those polls on Tuesday.
That's Tuesday, November 5th, and register at your local voting registry.
Thank you all for watching. We'll see you next week. Every week.